Hello guys, today I have what's in spike and bloom for the month of January 2022 for you, and I've got few orchids in bloom and some in spike, which are very excited for them to open maybe next month, and I'm going to show you what's in bloom and what's in spike for this month. First orchid in spike I want to show you is this paphiopedilum berenice. As you can see, there's two beautiful spike, one with two blooms and the other one here. So two fans are blooming this year. I usually get one fan blooming for me, so this was the first time, which is two fan at the same time are in bloom, and they are sequential bloomers, so there might be one more bloom coming out of this, but there might not be as well, and this one as well. I usually get 4 in each spike, but as it shows, I think this year maybe it's just 2 and 2. I don't know why, because probably the orchid is too crowded, or you know, it needs dividing or something like that. But for the time being, I'm not going to do anything until it blooms. Maybe later on I'll repot or I'll do something about it, but not now. But for now, I'm very excited about these spikes, which are going to bloom very soon. I think probably next month you'll see them in bloom. I also link down below the videos that I had from previous year of this paphiopedilum. So this was paphiopedilum berenice, which is a primary hybrid of paphiopedilum lowii and paphiopedilum philippinensis, with long sepals and beautiful color. Next, I'm very excited about two first-time bloomer. One is this one, which is my Phalaenopsis Maiden, bronze maiden, bronze maiden, which is again a primary hybrid of two species Phalaenopsis, which is Schilleriana and Phalaenopsis mannii. And I'm very excited to see the blooms on this one. That's almost ready to bloom, but I think it might be hopefully in bloom for the next month's bloom video, so keep an eye on that. I really like the color of the leaves, which is silvery bluish color, which is coming from the parent Schilleriana. There's no mottled leaf in this one, but there is a little bit of a mottling in here. I'm not sure if it's because of anything in the media or it's just the genetic that is coming through. So that's one first time bloomer for me. Next I have this first time bloomer as well. This is a Cymbidium species called Cymbidium sinense, Ibo Shao Zhans, something like that. Sorry. So this is a species Cymbidium. As you can see, if you compare it with these big ones, which are the hybrids, very small, compact, and beautiful leaves. This one has a little bit of a variegation on top of the leaves, so as you can see. And I bloomed this, and this is the first time it's spiking for me. and I'm very excited to see the blooms. Hopefully in the next month's spike and bloom video. So this Cymbidium, I left it outside during the summer, and I brought it in about end of October almost. So I gave it a little bit of a cold, and I think that was the trigger to make it bloom. But I read that these Cymbidiums, you know, the species, they don't need a cold snap trigger, so I don't know which one is true. And the last orchid in spike, and I have one more of this, but I couldn't get it for this video. I'll show you next time. So this is a Phalaenopsis noid complex hybrid, mini phal. As you can see, it's very small with a tiny bud. Hasn't fully opened yet, but the first one started to bloom and there's branches coming up. So this will bloom for the next few months. Hopefully next month I'll show you a better display. I've noticed, so now let's move on into the orchids in bloom. I've noticed what I've got on my table on bloom is all Dendrobium with different types of Dendrobium, except this big Cymbidium, which I bought it in bloom recently from a garden center. Is noid Cymbidium, which I couldn't help it because the price was very nice. And yeah, so as you can see, I love those blooms, beautiful. And as you can see, there was 3 spikes, and 2 of them are almost going, and the third one is almost on her last legs. So I just wanted to show you, but there is lots of new growths, lovely new growths, and this one, and big and nice plump pseudobulbs. So I'm hoping to rebloom this next year and learn more about the Cymbidiums. Recently I've been into Cymbidiums a lot, and I've got 3 different types of Cymbidiums, including this one. So apart from this Cymbidium, everything else is, so I don't know if you could see all the blooms, beautiful blooms. Yeah, hopefully you can see now. Okay, let's move on into my Dendrobium blooms. So as you can see, I've got my Dendrobium polysema times by aberrans primary hybrid, still in beautiful blooms, as you can see. And I've done a spotlight for this beautiful orchid, and I'll link it down below for you to see and learn more about this orchid. So for now, I just wanted to show you that there is only one lost, and there's second bloom that almost going. So it's been in bloom since I can say from December it was in bloom, and yeah, still going strong. Next one, I want to show you this Dendrobium Nobly noid and beautiful blooms. And the significance about this orchid is that I had this orchid for a few years, like I don't know, 7 years, 8 years maybe. And the mother plant produced keikis. I think 2019 it produced keikis, so 2 years ago. And now these are all the keikis. Mother plant died after some time, you know, after 7-8 years that I had it. And these are all new keikis, all the keikis from that mother plant. And as you can see, there's 2 or 3 nice nice one without a bloom, which I'm very looking forward to them blooming next year. And these are the older canes that have bloomed for me this year. Really nice blooming display. And as you can see, so this was the first one. I had, I think, 3 or 4 keikis in here, and the rest are just the growth out of the keikis. So as you can see, this one was the first one to bloom last year, and then they started, these 3 have started blooming for me this year. So I'm very happy about that, and looking forward to the bigger canes to bloom soon for me. Next I have another Dendrobium, Latoria Dendrobium for you, and this is one of my favorite, absolute favorite Dendrobiums, because of the shape, which is very beautiful bloom. So this is Alexandre times by rhodostictum, and I've transferred this into semi-hydro. By the way, my Latorias are all in semi-hydro setup, but my nobiles are in bark. This beautiful orchid didn't bloom last year because I just transferred it, and it was just growing new growth. But this year started to bloom for me, and as you can see, beautiful blooms. I love these long lasting and very intriguing shape. I love the shape of these. No fragrance, but the shape is so beautiful. I love it. Okay, next I have this Dendrobium. This is not a Latoria, it's just a primary hybrid of Dendrobium mohlianum times by glomeratum. Mohlianum times by glomeratum. And this is the second year it's blooming for me, and I got it for 2 years now. So it bloomed first year and the second year, but and still it blooms from the mature and previous years cane. So as you can see, there's only this one of the little tiny canes that has bloomed. So I've grown these long canes myself. I mean, I think 2 of them is mine, and the rest was when I got the plant, and this is a new one as well. So I'm very looking forward to these big ones to bloom whenever they mature and they bloom. But I love the blooms, very beautiful color, orangey color. I don't know if you could see. The blooms are very nice and looking like a glomeratum. Beautiful orange color. No fragrant again. Next I have another Dendrobium Nobly noid. This one was a gift from my husband, I don't know, 18 years ago for my birthday, and this is the original orchid, and I've removed maybe 1 or 2 old canes, but the rest are from that time. And I mean, it grows every year a new cane, so it's not as vigorous as that one. I think this one must be Comet King, I think, but this one I don't have any ID, but it's very beautiful and smells really nice. Faint jasmine and I don't know, gardenia mix fragrance, but it's very mild fragrance. It's not big fragrance. But I love the blooms, very beautiful, as you can see. And this cane has lots and lots of bloom in it for the first time. I usually get like few on top of it, but this cane at once. This cane bloomed this year from the bottom to the top, full of buds. So I'm very happy to see it. This one, for example, bloomed half of it last year and half of it this year, so that's what usually they do for me. But this one, this cane has got the whole cane blooming all this year for me. And there's some more buds to go, as you can see. I don't know if you can see the bud here. And yeah, so this cane is still to go, but there's two fully bloomed cane. Okay, and the last but not least is my another Litoria Dendrobium, which is called Dendrobium Roy Tokunaga. And the last orchid in bloom is my Roy Tokunaga Litoria Dendrobium. I've got a bunch of bloom here, which is like 5 blooms here and 1 bloom over here. So I've done a spotlight in this orchid, and I'll link down below for you to see if you want to learn more about the care and this orchid itself. I just wanted to show you that still in bloom, still going strong, and it has started I think in November. It bloomed in November, and still no sign of any slowing down or going off. So I'm very happy with this orchid. It sits on my dining table as my centerpiece, and yeah, I love it. I love watching it every day. And yeah, so I think that's all I have for you this week, this time, and I hope you've enjoyed my orchids in bloom and spike for January 2022. And yeah, hopefully I have some more bloom for next month, so please keep an eye on for it. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and subscribe. It's free and encourages me to make some more videos like this. And please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed, and take care of yourself. I'll talk to you later. Bye.